It's the Brad and John Show.
Me, asleep at the switch? Never. It's the Brad and John Show, and today's date is Friday, March 14th. This is the B Block. John. All sorts of stuff going on. Okay, first off. Okay, you know what? The last break you talked about the population shift. Did they give the statistics for St. Charles, Franklin, Warren, and Jefferson County? Did they give those?
No, they didn't, but they gave a little bit of color there because they said that among the Neff Sandoval, who is a sociology guy from SLU, he's quoted in a lot of these. I guess his title is Professor of Demography and Sociology at St. Louis University. He talks a lot about declining population growth, but among the counties that did not see a decline in natural births are St. Charles County, Warren County, St. Louis County. I thought it was curious that Franklin County wasn't mentioned, but then I thought, Brad, I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't seem condescending. I thought maybe Lucretia doesn't maybe know that Franklin County is in the St. Louis area. You get what I'm saying? I could just be stereotyping here.
Well,
but I'm just thinking, go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I was going to. No, well, you know, the interesting part of that is that I think a lot of people don't realize that anything west of the 270 circle or south or north, whichever exists. You know what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying. So I would be surprised if Franklin County didn't see an increase in births. And what I failed to mention when I described the piece, Brad, is that a large part of the growth, or what I guess I should say, what has saved St. Louis City are influx of immigrants. Now, Tashara Jones also makes the point that thanks to Donald Trump, you know, that we're not as welcoming as we were before, and et cetera. And Lucretia mentions here that despite Donald Trump's efforts against immigration, St. Louis remains a welcoming city for immigrants.
Hold it. That was an actual quote of what you wrote?
Yeah. Well, so Lucretia is paraphrasing Tashara here. And the direct quote from the story is, she, being Tashara, also noted President Donald Trump's efforts against immigration, adding that St. Louis remains a welcoming city for immigrants.
You know, John, man, I tell you what. Okay, let's move on to something else. I'm going to play a little audio clip here. Let me see if this is going to work. And you should be able to hear this down the line. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's hear this. It's not going to work. No, darn it. Okay. The audio clip. I thought this was going to work. Okay, I'm having some technical problems here again, as you can probably surmise from that. And let me do this. Let me unplug it and see if I can just do it this way. And I don't know if you're going to hear this or not.
This reimagined Fleur de Lis boldly points forward, signifying a commitment to progress and opportunity as we chart the future for St. Louis County.
Okay, did you hear that at all, John?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
Is that Sam Page talking about the new phallic flag?
Did you see that goofy flag? If you don't know what we're talking about, yesterday was the unveiling. We got a new logo for St. Louis County. Was that a couple months ago? Was that last year? Was that 2024?
Yeah, sometime last year, yeah.
Okay, now the new flag. Did you see that flag, John?
Yeah, I only saw it on Twitter, and I have to confess, I didn't read the story in the Post-Dispatch or other places about why we're focusing on a new flag. I mean, you know, I don't have much
I don't get it.
to say about that. I didn't read the story.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of something you see at Woodstock. Hey, wow, here's our hippie flag. Don't you think it sort of looks like a hippie flag?
I think so. I mean, it's just yeah, you know, and I remember when we talked about this a year ago. I think it's been a year since St. Louis County did the rebrand of their logo. And I remember you and I had a friendly dispute because I felt that they got a pretty good deal on what they paid for it. Like, if you're going to contract this out to an agency, they got a pretty good deal, which leads to the question, or as morons and troglodytes and knuckle draggers would say incorrectly, begs the question. It leads to the question, why can't somebody from the communications office at St. Louis County put together a few ideas and run from there?
Well, what did they spend? $40,000 or something like that?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't read this piece on the design of the flag.
Okay, here's what bothers me the most about stuff like this. Okay, first off, and you said it, why does St. Louis County need a new flag? I don't understand that. I just don't understand things like this. And secondly, why, there's all sorts of talented people here in, high school and colleges, graphic arts designers. There's tons of people. I deal with people that I know that are in the Chamber of Commerce's that I'm in who are excellent graphics person. There's a lady that hold on a minute. Can I make a quick phone call here? You mind?
Yeah,
You mind if I do this?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Brad.
Because sometimes I got to get to the bottom of things. 477-8835. Okay, let me make a quick phone call here and see if this is going to work. Hold on a minute. Do this like this. Okay, one ringy dingy.
Good morning, this is Shelley.
You're on the air, so no potty mouth, okay?
Oh, she never let me have any fun.
Okay. What's the name
What's
of your lady that does all your graphic stuff who's really good? What's her name? Jeannie? What's her name?
Jeannie Strickland, Boom Impact Graphics.
Okay, we're talking about the fact that St. Louis County just paid all sorts of money for a new flag. Do you think Jeannie could put together a design for a flag for St. Louis County?
Oh, absolutely.
And you think she could probably do it for like $1,000 or so, you think?
I can't speak to that, but I'm sure that she would give it a try.
Okay. Thank you very much.
She's excellent, really. Do you want her contact information?
No, we're just talking about the fact that this is so stupid. They spend all this money on a stupid flag. Okay, that's all I need to know. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
And she does excellent work. Okay, there's probably 1,000 people in St. Louis County who are graphically inclined, and especially nowadays, since you've got all the tools. You've got all the Adobe Suite things you can do.
Canva. You got Canva.
Right,
yeah.
You got Canva. You got ChatGPT. You know what I mean? Hey, ChatGPT, give me a matter of fact. Hold on a minute. I got here. Can you still hear me, John?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'm going over to my computer here in the other side of the room. Okay, and I think I have my Chat GPT open. Let me see. Let me see if I have. Can you make me a flag for St. Louis County? Okay, let's see what comes up with here. Background here, design concept. Background, a deep blue field representing stability, unity in the Missouri River. Central symbol, a stylized gateway arch with the Mississippi River flowing beneath it, signifying the county's connection to the St. Louis city and its history. Stars, 6 stars in a semicircle above the arch representing the major regions of the county, such as North County, South County, West County, Mid County, etc. Fleur-de-lis, a small gold fleur-de-lis in the corner paying homage to the French heritage of the region. Stripes, 2 horizontal stripes, 1 green presenting parks and nature, and 1 red representing industry and strength. Would you like me to generate an image based on the image tweak? Yes. Okay. Did you like that already, John?
Yeah, you just saved the county 90 grand.
Yes. Okay, here we go. It's making a flag as even we speak. Okay, hold on. Let me hear. It's the little circles moving around. It should be here any minute. Oh my God, this is cool looking. A little gaudy, but I'm thinking to myself, I don't get it. See, this is what bothers me when you think is if you're a county taxpayer, which I am, and you go like, okay, my money went for what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's what the piece in the Post-Dispatch. I just pulled it up. It was written by Kelsey Landis a couple days ago, and she says that critics the quote is, quote, critics jumped on the opportunity to pick apart the logo and criticize the county's decision to spend money on it despite facing a $27 million budget deficit.
Man, I tell you what. Okay, which leads me into the next story, which I thought was fascinating. I read this story yesterday, and I would love to get you remember the old days of 60 Minutes where they had point counterpoint, where they had the guy and the gal who'd go back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? Remember that?
Yeah, and he would say, "Jane, you ignorant SLUT." Yeah.
No, that was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, that was something different. Okay, what's the story, Brad?
Okay, the story is several states, here, let me pull it up, and I read this last night. Several states seek end to property taxes shouldn't have to rent from the government, okay? People talk about this in Missouri as far as personal property tax, that if you buy a car, you got to essentially rent it from the government every year because you have to pay your personal property
ridiculous.
tax. If you buy a piece of property, why would you have to rent it from the government? See, if our really great Republican, if the Ricky Schroders of the world and the other guys, the Senate and the state people, they don't have the guts to do this. They don't have the guts to say, you know what? We're Republicans, and we're tired of having our citizens in the state of Missouri rent their houses and their real estate from the government. No more real estate taxes. See, that would never happen because, you know why, John?
Why is that?
Because all these conservative Republicans, they're just phony balonies. Because you know why?
Are you calling them rhinos, Brad? Have you been listening to another radio station down the dial?
See, the problem with that is that, see, rhino is a state of mind. I mean, there's degrees of rhinoism. So yes, I'm calling them rhinos because of the fact that if they were really true to their goals, they would say, like, for example, can I call Bill Eigel real quick? You think he'll answer the phone?
No, don't annoy him, Brad. We've done that enough.
It's been like a month. I think I've only talked to him once this year. Come on, John.
That's great. You can see him at the next event that he doesn't show up to.
Okay.
Here's the thing. First of all, gyno is a state of mind. Well, that's at least what you used to tell girls in your backseat at Hazelwood High School. But gyno is maybe a state of mind. Excuse me, rhino is maybe a state of mind. And there are plenty of Republicans in the legislature who introduce bills to do exactly what you said. To your point, the bills don't go anywhere because, yeah, you're right. If Republicans wanted to pass it, they could.
The first paragraph of this story, as tax day nears, fiscally conservative leaders in several states are pushing to abolish property taxes, with one Pennsylvania lawmaker arguing that homeowners shouldn't have to, quote, pay rent to the government. That lawmaker, State Representative Russ Diamond, representative from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, spoke to Fox News Digital on Thursday ahead of his latest effort to end the collection of such taxes in the Keystone State. Diamond put forward a resolution titled HB 900, which Fox News Digital learned explicitly will be filed imminently. The document is a draft constitutional amendment he hopes will go to the voters on Election Day and not a typical piece of legislation requiring gubernatorial approval. Okay, once again, you knuckleheads in the state of Missouri, we have a supermajority in the Senate, a supermajority in the House, and what do they all want? Oh, we don't want abortion. Well, guys, you blew it, okay? You didn't pass IP reform, so now there's abortion in the Missouri, and you're all butthurt about that, okay? So maybe the citizens need to band together, and we need to get some guy from another state, because that's the way it always happens with this constitutional amendment, right? Where somebody ponies up money from some other state.
Yeah.
We need to find some dude from another state who said, hey, are you a property owner in the state of Missouri? Are you tired of renting your property from the government? Vote for Proposition NP. No, NR or NRT. Proposition NRT.
You can work on the letter, sure.
No real estate taxes. I'm telling you. And see, now here's the problem. You know what happened?
Yeah, I know what's going to happen, and tell me who's going to oppose it, Brad. Tell me who's running the campaign against it.
Len Pagano.
Yeah, the Len Pagano, and there's a Len Pagano in every county, isn't there?
There's probably multiple Len Paganos in every county because all of a sudden, and I'm not making fun of Len Pagano, they wouldn't be able to build their Taj Mahal city halls and have parks and put planter boxes in the middle of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive and on Mexico Drive and have beautiful laser-cut emblems stuck up in the middle. I go like, why are we spending money for that? You know what I'm saying,
There's
John?
always going to be a municipal mayor that opposes any kind of cut in revenue. Miley Cyrus wrote that song. There's always going to be another Pagano. She was talking about property taxes.
Okay. See, this is Brad, and some would consider me the bomb thrower, okay? I say we turn things 180, that if you are a property owner, if you are Joe citizen or you're Joe business person, you don't pay any property taxes anymore. But if you're a church, a not-for-profit, you pay double property taxes. Because guess what? You're not paying any income tax. You're a not-for-profit, so you're not sending any money to the federal government. So, you know, like the people, all the churches, stuff like that, you know, and then I can hear it right now, the preachers on Sunday morning, there's been this terrible thing. This guy is trying to make us pay property taxes on our church. church, and it looks like it's going to happen. So here's what we need to do. When we pass the collection plate, we need you to double down, triple down, maybe even quadruple down on what you put in so we can pay our property taxes. Otherwise, we're going to have our property auctioned off, just like poor citizens of this community already do, but now it's going to be us, the church. What do you think, John?
I think that that's a beautiful start of your sermon. I know that you're doing the barter thing where you're exchanging ads on your stations for the ability to give sermons in local churches. We learned that this week. I think that a great example of that was the fact that I heard a pastor the other day. He was a Lutheran pastor, actually. And he got up and he said, look, we were one time driving through the Westplex, and we thought, it's funny we're in the Westplex, but somehow we can't hear Westplex talk. So apparently some Lutherans decided to give a little bit of radio signal to cede a little bit of territory to a guy that's actually in the Westplex. And he said that is the model that we use, do unto others, etc. And then they passed the collection plate.
You know, I had my meeting with them over 2 months ago, and I haven't heard anything. They've just completely, it's so frustrating. One of these mornings, John, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Brad? You're going to go absolutely postal.
I'm going to say, I've already got my speech written. I'm going to go, John, 52 years in this business, I've enjoyed every second of it. Well, a few I haven't, but there's most of them I have. And you know what? I've just had it. I got my car. I threw my little rucksack in the back of my car. I gassed up last night at Costco. I got cheap gas at Costco. I'm going up to 70. And I'm going to head west, and I'm not stopping till it ends in someplace out there in Utah. And then I'm going to jump on 15, and I'm going to go down through Vegas, and I'm going to hang out in Vegas for a while. And then I'm going to go 15 into L.A., and I go south on 5, and I'm going to end up in San Diego. And I'm just going to become a homeless dude in San Diego. Because you know what? If you're smart and you want to be homeless, you don't hang out in St. Louis. You don't hang out in Chicago. You don't hang out in New York or Pennsylvania, any of those cold states. You go to San Diego, where you can lay on the street 24/7, 365, not have to worry about being frozen or not have to worry about being, road pizza or baked on the sidewalk. That's what I'm going to do, John. One of these mornings, I'm just going to say, I'm done. See you. Bye.
Well, here's the thing. I hope that you've fulfill that, because I've been trying to get you to make Westplex 107.1 just 24 hours of the TJ show. So finally, when you leave, people driving through the Westplex can get 24 hours of really great references to New York coffee shops in Central Park,
John,
which is the way it should be in the Westplex.
John, I have to tell you a story which I shouldn't say on the air, because the guy who was the rep for the TJ show, if he hears me do this story, he will cancel my TJ contract. TJ was talking about the fact that he wants to take his kids to the Looney Tunes movie. If you know about this, you're taking your kids to the Looney Tunes movie, the new Looney Tunes movie. You know what I'm talking about?
No, we're not going to. We'll do Wicked too, but I don't think we're going to do the Looney Tunes movie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So he took his little portable recorder, and he's got his kids at dinner, and he's interviewing his one daughter. Okay, if my daughter talked like that, I would essentially go back to the hospital and say, I think you gave me the wrong kid at birth.
What was she saying?
She would talk like that. She had a voice like that. I'm going like, oh, my God. I mean, it was like, I thought it was a joke at first. I go, no, that's his real daughter.
Well, is she like 3 years old, or how old is she?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm telling you, if I had a kid that talked like that, I would pack up my rucksack and jump in my car and head west, okay?
The word of the day is rucksack. Do you think, first of all, I literally don't think I've ever heard that. Is that in cartoons when destitute people put a bag on like the end of a stick? Is that a rucksack?
Oh, it's a military term. You never heard that before?
Oh, no, I've never heard rucksack.
Yeah, okay. Here, well, I'll give you the definition. In the next segment, and because we're going to do, what would John do in the next segment?
Yes.
Okay?